How good is a level 9 player? And what does a level 3 player look like? And are they at all close in skill level? Well, over these past few days, I've sat down and watched demos from every level on Faceit to answer one question. How big is the skill gap between each rank? Today, we'll be taking a close look at what every level on Faceit looks like. So if you're a level 3 player wanting to get to level 10, I'll show you exactly what your gameplay should look like. And keep in mind, this is coming from someone with over 2,500 matches on Faceit, all played after the release of CS2, climbing all the way from level 3 to being in the top 1,000 players in my region. Now, in order to set our baseline, we must first take a look at level 1. And to no one's surprise, this elo bracket is filled with players that demonstrate very little proficiency with basic CS mechanics, and is also a place where players leave spawn on pistol round without armor or utility, or if you're this guy, just with an R8 and a flashbang. I've noticed this in previous videos where I reviewed low elo demos, and that is, players in this elo range are chronically disconnecting. And not for 5 minutes, but rather after round 3 and for the entire match. If you're someone that's stuck in this rank, it's likely that you're very new to Counter-Strike, and for that, I cannot blame you. My biggest piece of advice is simply play the game more and to maybe check out some YouTube videos where you can learn some basic CS fundamentals so you can start building good habits. Moving on to level 3, the biggest change we see is in players' mechanics. Players are starting to aim more at head level sometimes and showing some level of understanding of player positioning. At this rank, we start to see common lineups being thrown. Of course, some of them are still missing, but regardless, an effort is being made to throw useful and effective utility. However, the glaring issue with this rank is an overall lack of awareness and respect of when and where an enemy can be somewhere. A prime example of this is the cap player who initially wants to support B, then decides to take a look mid, and without acknowledging the fact that their teammates have entirely forfeited mid, wide swings, and dives to a player hiding bench. And to some surprise, there are still players often AFKing an entire match shortly after it begins. I actually found it kind of strange how many match rooms I stumbled upon that had one or more players with the leaver penalty applied. Overall, this is the rank where to some degree CS is starting to be played more seriously and players are obviously more invested in winning, other than the AFKs of course. The next rank we're going to be looking at is level 5. And there are two obvious changes outside of improved mechanics that I had noticed. One being, there's much more team play happening throughout the match. An example of this is a player dropping a rifle to his teammate without a weapon. After that, they trade out their teammate's mid, go ahead and hit a 20 bullet COD reload, holy cow, and then attempt to trade another teammate who just died from heaven. These types of things can sometimes be done with minimal communication, but to be totally honest, after a decent amount of playtime, these sorts of things should just come naturally. Things like dropping teammates' weapons mid-round, trading teammates out when they push for space, or just overall awareness of where your teammates are dying from are things that just come after several hours of playtime. The second thing I noticed was how post-play